what she was. He had no illusions about her, but I could be wrong.
Do you know of anyone with a grudge against Madame Marshall?
Only wives, but since she was strangled, I presume that it was a man who killed her.
Mademoiselle, may I ask a favor of you?
You found my typewriter, Monsieur Poirot. I am in your debt.
What would you have me ask, Hastings? Could you compare some pieces of fabric for me?
I would be happy to. Fabric is something I know quite a bit about.
Merci. The perfect favor to ask. You are learning to exercise their little gray cells with great skill. It would seem the obvious request.
This cut piece is fine silk. From a lady's hat, I would say. The torn bit is rayon, inexpertly dyed. And this burnt piece is from the same rayon as the torn fabric.
Many thanks, mademoiselle. I thank you for your cooperation.
A rather touching photograph. Mrs. Redfern's sketching supplies. I think this room belongs to Major Barry.
I believe we've damaged Major Barry's suitcase sufficiently, Hastings. There is nothing beneath the pillow. Mademoiselle?
Mr. Poirot, you gave me such a start. I'm all nerves.
Is all well, mademoiselle?
What were you doing in your bath yesterday? It was such a mess. It took forever to clean it up.
It is a little hard to explain that...
Well, never you mind. I took care of it. It's my job.
How are things between you and Monsieur Will Jenks?
Mr. Poirot, the Marshall girl told me that there is nothing between her and my will. Everything's patched up.
I am so glad.
She also told me that you had a hand in clearing up that mystery. If you need a helping hand in this horrible murder case, you just let me know. Don't think me rude, sir, but I can't talk right now.
If I remember correctly, this must be Stephen Lane's room. This room belongs to Mr. Blatt.
Quite interesting.
I say, what caused that oily spot?
My nose tells me it is some kind of oil. A test would determine it more precisely. That will do quite well. They are blackout curtains, although at the moment they are not drawn.
This document bears further study. I will keep it in my notebook.
Believe me when I tell you, Hastings, there was nothing of interest in those drawers.
Interesting. I'll put it in my notebook. This may be important. I'll keep it in my notebook.
Don't think me rude, sir.
You were right, Monsieur Poirot, weren't you?
Madame?
You asked me to have patience, and now Arlena has been removed from the picture.
Perhaps. But the manner of her removal is not something to celebrate, I think.
Oh, I'm not celebrating, I'm not that callous. But I do know that eventually that door will open, and it will be my husband standing there.
If you could give me an account of your movements this morning?
Of course. Let me see. On my way down to breakfast, I stopped in to see Linda Marshall and fixed up with her to go to Sanctuary Cove. That was about 9:40. After breakfast, I saw you in the lobby. I sketched that man for you at about 10:20.
Again, my thanks.
Then Linda and I set out for Sanctuary Cove.
What time was that?
I think it was just on 10:30.
What did you do at Sanctuary Cove?
I made some sketches of the birds, while Linda swam and sunbathed. Have you seen them walk, Monsieur Poirot? It quite reminded me.
Ha! We will not dwell upon the birds, madame, if you don't mind.
As you wish.
What time did you leave?
At 11:45. I was playing tennis at 12 with Miss Darnley, Mr. Marshall, and Mr. Gardner.
How did you know the time?
Linda had a watch. I asked her.
I see. And then?
I packed up my sketching things and went back to the hotel.
What was Mademoiselle Linda doing when you left the beach?
Oh, Linda went into the sea again.
Did Linda Marshall actually enter the sea before you left the beach?
Yes. Oh, yes, she ran down the beach. I heard her splashing in the waves as I climbed the path.
What happened after you went back to the hotel?
I changed into my tennis things and went to the tennis court where I met the others. We played 2 sets and were just going in when the news came about Mrs. Marshall.
How did you feel when you learned of Madame Marshall?
It was a horrible thing to happen.
Yes, but you were so very surprised?
I think I see what you mean. No, I was not perhaps surprised. Shocked, yes. But she was the kind of woman.
She was the kind of woman to whom such a thing might happen. Yes, madame, that is the truest and most significant thing that has been said to Poirot today.
Afternoon, Mr. Poirot. Terrible thing, this murder. I hope you get to the bottom of it. Need a little stimulation to help you think? Choose from the menu if you like.
I say, some tasty concoctions here, Poirot.
Sorry, sir. All out of dark rum and grenadine, I'm afraid. Blame George. It's his favourite drink.
Allow me the contribution.
These will do nicely, sir. I can make several planter's punches with these. Thank you. There you go.
Merci.